This channel supports Extra Life in its efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. For more information about how to donate and join in their efforts, go to the link displayed here. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids. What up, everybody? This is your boy Black Magus, and talking about Powers, Season 1, Episode 5. After this episode, I kind of really do hope that they do get to another season, because I have to admit, this is probably the best episode that they had, and and I'm not even talking from an action standpoint. It's more from a story, because I see the relationship starting to just flesh out in a way that makes me want to go wow, where the hell are we gonna go now with some of this? What's going to happen next? It's getting to that point in the storyline. So the conclusion of the whole Wolf breaking out situation, where Wolf's pretty much on a rampage, just eating people at will. Walker is seemingly enthralled by Wolf because he took that stuff, and I forget the name of the drug. I always forget what they call it, but it's a drug that's made from his blood that basically gives people with powers a little slight boost, because what Wolf's power is that when he eats someone, he absorbs their energy. And if you have powers, your powers gives him a boost. So his blood, I guess, is kind of ramped up from that, or it's an accelerant type of thing. Does it once he feeds, he gets an extra boost? I guess that's what his blood does. They never really truly explained his powers, just that he eats you, he absorbs your energy, he absorbs your power, and he becomes even more powerful. So whenever he looks at Walker, they both eyes go red, and you could tell Wolf was kind of figuring it out through the story. He was just like, why do you smell like me? And he just would look at him, and he would just all of a sudden get the red eyes, and they would be within each other's mind, and he would see. I thought that was really clever how they would go into Wolf's mind and see him as a child, showing, I guess, his fears and things like that, his vulnerabilities, and how Walker was inside. And they both were kind of going back and forth between their vulnerabilities and issues, things like that. I don't know who the little girl is, so I'm looking to see if they explain that. I don't recall them explaining that. I recall Johnny, the other antagonist, explaining how he couldn't find his sister and things like that, but I don't recall a little girl being in the story of Wolf or Walker, so we'll see how that fleshes out. But in the midst, you just had this whole thing where you get a taste of where they kind of got to where they are now, how Wolf ate up the club, and the defining moment in Walker's career as Diamond when he had superpowers, how he came to be, how he met Retro Girl. I thought that was all very well done. It was really cool to see the situation where Walker became Diamond and became a hero, and why he became it. And it was great to see how it connected a comment that he made to his partner Griffin about heroes aren't murderers, because Wolf asked them to kill him. Like he said, Wolf asked him to kill him, and they showed that part where Wolf asked him to kill him, and you see Walker was like, no, I can't kill him. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take him and we're gonna turn him in, because we're heroes and we can't be heroes if we murder. And it was like, okay, so clearly Walker saw an opportunity to gain notoriety and fame and get something that he felt like he was missing, or something that he really wanted, which was to be a hero. And he took his chance, whereas his boy Johnny was like, no, that's our teacher, you can't do that. That's just no, you don't do that at all. Now, they never explained how Johnny lied and said that he ate me, so I want to see exactly where that comes from. That will be definitely interesting to see how they got to there, or if there was another moment where Wolf had done something and these heroes came together. They're gonna have to explain that a little bit more, but I thought that was really, really cool how that went down. The fights, of course, they were pretty cool. It was cool to see Trip Hammer come out of nowhere and save Johnny and get into a brawl. It was actually cool to see that Zora chick show up. You know, in the last episode, you saw her saying that she's going to go down there because she's going to prove that she's, you know, this is her moment to shine and all that. And she actually did pretty decent. She ended up becoming the hero because the media, of course, saw her at first because they saw her go in and they saw her come out, and she was just like, I hit him. She was like in shock because she knew she almost died. If Retro Girl didn't show up the first time, she definitely was damn sure dead. And then she was able to actually save Retro Girl, but she got caught again, and she was going to get bodied at that point. But then Walker, somehow in the midst of things, he started to absorb some of his powers back when him and Wolf were locking, and he absorbed just enough to be able to take down Wolf, which I thought was really, really cool. So now I'm curious to see if they're going to work this into, you know, Walker trying to find a way to get his powers back completely for Wolf now that he had that taste. Of course, the drug should be out of his system right now because we saw them with him in the hospital after he eventually took down Wolf, threw him in that drainer thing. Now the drainer is well known, so that's going to play as a pretty big factor in things, I'm sure, in the future, because it helped disable Wolf. So, and also you saw Johnny, he was there, he could have saved Wolf, but he didn't do it. So we're going to see how that's going to play out as well. But all of this led to a great moment at the end where Walker and Retro Girl are talking, and Retro Girl's just talking about how she's just tired, or, you know, she was at a hurricane before she came to help out Walker and them, and she was trying to save this little boy. Well, she revealed that she never saved the little boy, and she just was like, I hate this because I always promised them to do something, but I can't always keep my promises. And it kind of showed how it would probably be to be a superhero, because everybody would expect you to save the day, and you can't always save the day. And for her, it has to be even worse because, again, like she said, she makes these promises, and if she can't keep them, it's kind of devastating. You know, it's going to be heart-wrenching to the people, and it's hurtful to her because she wants to be the hero. She wants to do everything. They've built her as more of a fame seeker, but you kind of get a hint that it's just not all about being Miss Popular. She actually really does take what she does serious. You know, it's not just about the money and the fame. She really, really does want to be the hero and be a savior to people, not just the image, but everything. You know, she wants that to happen. I thought that was really cool. We got to see a little with the girl that everybody's been looking for, and I forget her name for some reason, and Walker's ex-partner's son, the one who died. They seem to be developing some type of relationship, and it's going to be curious to see what's going to happen with them and where things are going to go, because that kid is kind of hell-bent on getting rid of Powers, or at least doing something to hurt Powers, because he's still in his feelings about his dad, understandably so. It's a major loss, especially for someone that young, but he seems still hell-bent on taking out Powers, because, again, he made a good statement. He was like, you know, for all the powers that they have, people are always dying around them. You know, they cost more lives than they save, which may not be necessarily true, but look at this, looking at the events, I mean, all those cops that died to Wolf, all those other powers that succumbed to Wolf in the prison, you know, he has a good point. So curious to see where he's going to go with that, and why Homegirl didn't tell him about her possible powers or her want of being a power. as well. But overall, it was a solid show. It was a very, very solid show. So the show's definitely gaining traction. Definitely more appealing as time goes on. I'm definitely invested now. I can say that I'm well invested in Powers right now. It's a pretty good show, pretty good damn show. But anyway, as always, you guys hit me up. Let me know what you think, and I'll holler at you later. This your boy Black Makers, and I'm out. Deuces.